Namaskar, greetings to everybody. Welcome to the third episode of our Talks on Life series. The first question that we will discuss comes from Teresa. This is a follow-up question to the previous interaction that we have had in the first episode. Teresa has said, I feel that the biggest hurdle is my family. My mother is sick since I was young. How can I deal with her sickness without being influenced in my path? At a karmic level, what is the meaning of illness? In the relationship between a mother and a daughter, what does it mean, this sickness? Which is the karmic connection? This situation is making me sick too, and I do not feel free. Well, Teresa, I would like to begin by saying to you directly that your role in the family and your role with your mother is an integral part of your spiritual sadhana or spiritual pursuit. Why do I say this? You say that you are in the path. I assume it is a spiritual path. And what do? Maybe you do some meditation. Maybe you do some pranayama or breathing exercises. Maybe you do some yogasana, some chanting, some bhajan, some other stuff which you think is your path. And the rest of your individual situation in the family and with your mother, you think is a hindrance. This is not you. This is your ego who is making such a statement, making this distinction between the spiritual path and your worldly responsibilities. When you say spiritual path, what is spirituality? Have you ever tried to answer this question within yourself? What is spirituality? It is the art of transformation from ignorance to enlightenment. It is the art of transformation from stagnation to movement, from complaint to gratefulness, from selfishness to selflessness. This progress, this journey is spirituality. So, your mother being sick for a long time and you have to be there and you have to play a role, how is it significant? It is a great opportunity for you to convert your activity and your role into a spiritual experience. How? Well, first of all, imagine yourself that you are working in a hospital professionally and you are dealing with sick people the whole day. The place is full of sick people and you have to play a role, the role of a nurse. But generally you would not complain because at the end of the month you are getting a salary for it. But here there is a complaint, your ego is complaining because you are not getting anything in return. So you think it is a waste of time. So you think it is a hindrance to your spiritual path. Now there lies the opportunity that you serve your mother lovingly, without complaint, without expecting anything in return, because that is the only thing that will happen to you, no return. Your mother may not be even grateful to you. She may not even appreciate your effort. She may not even say thank you to you. Does not matter. Because the more you are involved in that work, without expecting anything, your ego starts to dissolve and you start to feel free. Therein lies the idea of freedom. So you see, if you make this distinction between the spiritual path and your role with your mother, which is a hindrance, then the path also becomes an ego trip. It is not a trip of consciousness. The idea is to go beyond the ego. The idea is to dissolve the ego. So, in this case, your mother and you obviously have a karmic connection, and that is why she is your mother and you are her daughter. In previous lives, you had connections, and in this life too, she has served you while you were in the womb, while you were a baby, and she fed you, she nursed you, she brought you up, she played a big role in your life. So it's a big opportunity for you to sort of repay the karmic connection that you have with your mother, and repay without complaint. Not only acceptance, tolerance, but with love, and a kind of love which does not expect anything. Because spirituality starts with acceptance. Accept what? Accept life as it is, as has been given to you. The situation, the circumstances, even nature. Accept life. Be grateful, be thankful for the wonders of life. The sun rises every day, whether you want it or not, without your effort. There is oxygen in the air for you to breathe. There is gravitation that the soil offers you for you to be on this earth. You have a body which has been given to you by nature. So all this has been given to you, and you have a family, and you have your circumstances, and you have your relationships. All this has been given to you so that you can evolve, so that every aspect of your life, of your daily life, can become a spiritual experience. The path is just a central thing, it's just a practice, so that you can be more focused on yourself, so that you can be more centered on yourself. And the roles that you have to play is an extension of that, so that every moment you can see the play of your ego, the play of your mind, the play of your desires. And the more you see, the more they dissolve and you become free. From the morning till night, everything that you do, if you do it consciously, when you take a bath, when you eat food, when you breathe, when you read, when you are not doing anything, even then, when you are conscious about yourself, about the internal workings of your mind and your thoughts and your desires and your emotions, if you are conscious of them, then the ego starts to melt into the huge, expansive ocean of consciousness. So this role that you have with your mother, with your family, do not grudge it. Be thankful to it. Welcome it. Embrace it. And do your role lovingly, with harmony. If you spend some time with your mother, if you give her some company, if you can make her smile, that sets you free. That makes you feel better about yourself, and that makes you grow spiritually. So, I'll come back to the first statement that I have made, that your role with your mother and your role with your family, your circumstances, is not separate. They are not separate from your path. They are part of your path. They are integrated to your path. You have to only change your attitude. I hope I've answered this query. The second query has come from Antonella. She has a similar question dealing with family and disease, but a different context. She says, my mother just recently revealed to me that there is breast cancer that she is now facing. In the past, affected many other women of the family. Her grandmother, her mother, her uncle, and her cousins, everyone had some issue. From your perspective, what is the meaning and the message of this disease chain? And how can I break it? Thank you. The first thing, Antonella, that I have to say to you is, the question is cancer hereditary? Do children carry it because of their parents? Well, the mainstream medical fraternity will say no. Till now, the medical science has not been able to prove that cancer is hereditary. But you never know. Sooner or later, we might have new research coming up that says that cancer, like many other things, genetic diseases, can be hereditary. Number one. Number two is, your question is, how do I break this chain? And what is the meaning, what is the karmic meaning of illness? Well, before we go into karmic meaning, remember that 1 out of 4 people in this world has cancer, or will have cancer, or have had cancer. Almost in every family in the developed world, in the underdeveloped world, the developing world, you will find cancer like an epidemic. It's rampant. And more than the karmic thing, I mean karmic thing in the sense of previous lives, it is to deal with the lifestyle that we lead nowadays, regarding our food habits, regarding our confined lifestyle. A lot of things are related to it. Now, about this breaking the chain, well, the first thing is, scientists, mainstream scientists, till a couple of decades back had thought that the genetic character that you carry, the genetic map that you have, your own unique genetic character is unchangeable, is constant. That was the idea, that was the concept. But over the last few years, new research has revealed that our genetic character can be changed. We can be the masters of our genetic properties. How? By changing environment, by changing atmosphere, by changing situations. And the environment includes our own body. We can change the body. We can change the attributes of the body. How? Through lifestyle, through spirituality. For example, this point, which is called the pituitary point, or in Sanskrit Agnya Chakra, is called the master point or the master gland of the whole body. It is a harmonizing point. The male energy and the female energy in the body are there, they meet in the pituitary. So, when a person, when a spiritual seeker stimulates this point through meditation, through practice, through devotion, slowly the energy levels of the body, they start to change, and the change starts to happen qualitatively. And when you go deeper, then there is a kind of a harmony, energy harmony within the body. Even the body smell, the body odor, the body color, the body energy that you radiate, they all change. The way you look at things, the way you listen to things, the way you respond, everything changes. And of course, around that spiritual pursuit, you have to change your food habits, a lifestyle, more contact with nature, more freedom, more love, more happiness, more smile, more laughter. All these things are related to your spiritual sadhana, and they can change and transform your genetic, let's say, distortions, or the information in the in your genes that may carry some indications of degenerative illnesses. They might change. There is a possibility, and these things have happened, are also happening. This is one way. And another more practical, which I have been observing in the last few years, let's say, especially very recent times, that for all kinds of cancers, naturopathy is a wonderful treatment, a healing possibility for all kinds of cancers, especially mud bath, steam bath and colonic irrigation. I have seen patients with chronic cancer, acute conditions, they have been totally healed by a prolonged naturopathic treatment along with the fixed diet that these naturopathics prescribe. A complete cure has been possible, and this is going on in many parts of the world. So, I suggest, depending on the condition of your mother, in what state she is, you can think of having a naturopathy course with her and also for yourself. So, that is also my response. In the modern days, especially because of our food habits like chemical fertilizers, like chemical insecticides, lot of poison which are all directly related to cancer are going into our body. Also the kind of food, the junk food, fast food, all these things, and also our moods. Our life is becoming sort of confined. We are getting restricted. We are sort of contracting ourselves mentally, intellectually, emotionally. All these things are creating fields for diseases, especially cancer, which is a kind of a rotting of the cells. That can be reversed through spiritual effort and also through naturopathy. And naturopathy is like some kind of a spiritual treatment in physical terms. I hope your query has been answered. That is all for today. We'll come back again with our next episode soon. Thank you.